Every time someone calls you about your listing or sends you an inquiry on Zillow or through your website or your CRM, they're telling you something important. They're telling you that right now, at this exact moment, real estate is on their mind. That's a warm lead. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to add them to your database. It's an opportunity for a potential prospect, for a potential closing, and most agents lose those opportunities and let them just walk right out the door. Today, I'm going to make sure that that never happens to you again, that you capitalize on these opportunities when you get these calls and you get these reach outs because you have a listing. Most agents waste sign call leads. And here's what usually happens is the phone will ring and the agent tells the caller everything they want to know about the listing. Caller says thank you and hangs up. And the agent has no name, no contact info, no next step, no appointment, and the lead's gone. Now you have to retry to revive them and get them on the phone again. Or you think they're not serious, and so you don't follow up, and guess what? 6 weeks later, they're under contract and they're working with a different person. Sign calls are warm leads. The person took an action. They picked up the phone or sent you a message inquiring on a property. That's not to be taken lightly. Anytime someone reaches to you about real estate, that's a big step for them. They've been thinking about it for a long time. Real estate is one of their largest purchases or sales that they're ever going to make in their life. And they are at that point where it's on their mind, where something's going to happen in the near future, whether it's 3 months from now, 6 months, or a year. That's a fresh lead to be working with and to be nurturing to get to a conversion and a closing, and also create a new referral-based opportunity. I had somebody who called me, reached out on one of my listings. I ended up showing her the property. She came by one of my open houses that I invited her to. She didn't end up purchasing that property, but she then told me that she has a property up in another city that she needs to sell. And guess what? It's a $1.3 million listing that resulted in $40,000 in gross commission income. Had I not took that sign call seriously and gave her all the information and followed up and got an understanding of what she was looking for and invited her to my open house, would I have got that listing? No. But guess what? I got a $1.4 million listing from it. She's also planning on buying. And I got another listing that was down the street that was $1.3 million because it came from that particular listing. It's not about if they're serious or not. It's about if you're serious enough to start working with them and get the lead. The first thing to understand is that it's your job in the first 60 seconds of a sign call is not to sell the listing. It's to start a conversation and collect information. When someone calls, you're gonna greet them nicely, get their name right away. Hey, thanks so much for calling. I'm Payton, the listing agent. What's your name? Simple, okay? Get their name. Now you have their name. And you say, oh, cool. Are you familiar with the area? How'd you hear about the listing? This tells you immediately if they're local or they're relocating or if they're just browsing. Who are you working with? Who's your real estate agent? This is a critical question because it determines if this is a potential buyer client or someone who's already represented. And you can say, hey, what's your timeline? How long have you been looking? These questions are going to open up dialogue. It gives you an understanding of who you're talking to and why. And so you want to be asking these questions without rattling them off like you're interrogating them. You want to be casual with it. You're having a conversation with a new friend or a new person. And it's a difference of asking your questions as a conversation and letting them answer. And then however they answer, it's going to lead you naturally into additional questions. So outside of the questions that I mentioned, you might have other questions that come to mind based on where the transaction is going. But you want to keep that tone warm and curious and not salesy and not transactional, because nobody wants to work with that. The goal is to understand where they're at, if they're a buyer who needs help right now, or maybe they're a future buyer that'll be worth nurturing, or a seller who's looking into the market or wanting to, know what their property value is worth. Each of those is going to be a different opportunity and it requires a different response. So you want to listen more than you talk. Let them share. Don't start talking about yourself and all the value add you can provide. People will tell you exactly what they need if you give them the space to do it. So before you try to set an appointment or ask for their contact information and get their email, give them something valuable. Say, hey, I'm going to send you over the seller's disclosure, the upgrades and features and community amenities on this particular home. I know you said that the bedroom count might not work for you, but I figured it'd be helpful for you to see the seller's disclosure, as this is what's going to be used for every single home in the state. So it's good to get familiar with this. Cool. Now they're going to learn what a seller's disclosure is. And you can walk them through the details on the home. You can tell them about, oh, the roof was replaced or the AC was done or whatever. Speak to the property and then get to the price. So if they come in asking for what's the price of the home, start talking about, oh, the home was built in 94. It's absolutely beautiful. It's all renovated in 2022 and new floors and new appliances and this and that. And then deliver the price. And if they are a potential seller, they're going to see the way you deliver the information of this property as an opportunity for, if you represent their property, how you're going to represent them. So know that you're constantly being evaluated. Know that this is an opportunity. In some way, they have real estate on their mind and you need to provide value to them on the call so that they know you're a valuable resource as well. And you could also be like, hey, since you're interested in the neighborhood, I just pulled some market stats that I can share with you. Would it be helpful if I send those to you? And that offer is going to be low pressure but high value. Almost everyone says yes, and now you have their email address and reason to follow up, and now you have a good idea of what they're looking to do or what's on their mind with real estate. And the key ingredient, the fortune, is in the follow-up. We all know this. Within an hour of that call, you need to send a personalized text or email and include that information that you offered. If you said you were going to get the market insights or you're going to share the comparable sales or anything like that, you have to send it. You gave them your word. You need to provide it. You can text them and say, hey, it was great chatting with you about 123 Main Street. I wanted to send over those market stats as promised. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you ever want to see a house in person, I'd love to set that up for you. What other homes did you look at today? Keep an open-ended question to get a response from them and make sure you deliver that value. And then follow up again in 2 days. Follow up with an additional value, a new listing that's similar, a recent sale in the neighborhood, or something that keeps you top of mind without being pushy. And set reminders to follow up every week, or maybe it's once every 2 weeks, depending on what they shared with you that their goals are, and make sure that you're providing value consistently. Because the ones who give up don't succeed with getting the commission. The ones who follow up consistently are going to win the transaction, and they're going to create a new referral source from this new client. Every sign call in listing inquiry is a warm lead from someone who's already thinking about real estate. So ask the right questions, qualify the conversation, create value before you ask for anything, and follow up consistently, because that's the system that converts curious callers into closed commissions and committed clients. If you're struggling to convert, let's talk. Book a call, my link below, or find me on Instagram at PK Residential, and let's get to work.